Okay, so today we're going to be going over Module 3, Case Problem 2, the Capshaw family dentistry. If you look on page EX 183 and 184, I've already done the documentation. I've done line 3. We're going to start with line 4, which is adding the dates. So we're going to add the one date that you have there, 4/10, 2017. We enter that. It wants us to fill it in. So we carry it all the way down. We fill it in. We notice it's continuous. She is having Friday and she's got Saturday and Sunday off. So we just need fill in the work weekdays. Notice Saturday and Sunday is not in here. The 15th and 16th isn't there, which is a good thing. So next we're going to go do the total hours. And the total hours, it's based on 24 hours. The Americans have AM, PM. Europeans have a 24 hours. So if you're at like 6 o'clock at night, it's 1800 hours. Very easy to use. If it's from noon, which is 12, and you work till 6 p.m. or 1800, it's 6 hours. It's very easy. What we're going to need to do here, though, is we equal clock out minus clock in, parentheses, times 24. Times 24. Times 24. Enter. And then for the straight times, they've got no more than 8 hours is overtime. But so your straight hours is 8 hours. We need to put that in. It's equals minimum up to 8 hours. So we're going to have G6 minimized up to 8. So we should see that as 7.5 still. And it is. If it was over 8, it would have had 8 and anything beyond that amount. And that's why we're going to get the amount here. The next one is the overtime. And what they want in the book is if function test whether cell G6 is greater than 8. So equal if G6 is greater than 8, then we're going to have G6 minus 8. And that makes sense because if it was anything beyond 8, will give us the overtime. And you'll see that when we run that through. And they want for 0 there. So enter that. It's 0. For the payments, we're going to have to break this into two. We're going to have our total hours, which is our straight plus our overtime, because your overtime is time and a half. So we have to figure out a way to get that in there. So we make our own formula. We'll make that equal H6, which is your straight time, times, we're going to use a reference here, do your absolute. So we're going to do that times $B $6. And that covers your straight time. Then we're going to add our overtime, which is plus parentheses. It's time and a half, so 1.5 times. Since it was one time, you didn't have to add that into the straight time. But since it's overtime, you have to have the 1.5 times. So we're going to do the reference here too. $, $B $6 times, and the overtime, if we had it, would be I6. And there we have it. Now we're going to fill in all that data, bring it all the way down, and you're all done with that part. Well, I'm sorry, she had one allowance, was one allowance there. We didn't have that. All right, so next we're going to do B11. In cell B11, that's line 10. We're going to have to B11. So they want us to sum that all up. So we'll do it for all of these here. Equals sum for straight hours is column H. So H to H. For the overtime, we'll do the same thing. Equals I, all the way over. Whoa, what did I do? Spill. I spilled something because I didn't sum. That should do it. And then we're going to do total hours, which is J, will equal sum G. That should be all of it. And that adds up. The straight hours and the overtime equals the total hours. And then we're going to get the total pay. So that's equals sum, and we're using column J. Okay, let me just put parentheses. And there you have it. Whoop. I had done this previously, so it shouldn't automatically kick it in. Delete. Delete. There you go. All right. Federal income tax. How do we do that? We're going to have to VLOOKUP. We know what the federal is. It's single. Withholdings is 1. So we're going to need both B7, B9. And we've got the federal rate. We're going to go all the way from L5 all the way over to W, I believe, W8. So let's figure out our federal income tax right now. Excuse me. Equal the lookup. Need some water. We'll try today. Equals VLOOKUP. We're going to have our B7, which is federal state, and the columns that we're using, L6 all the way to W8. Here, B9 is your withholding allowance. If you look, it's going to be your single at, since we're using column 1 here, it will be column 1 plus 2 in this instance. So we're going to B9 plus 2 plus 2. And then it's saying true or false. We need an exact match, so it's false. Then we multiply this. We're actually going to multiply that by our total pay. And there we have it. Social Security number is going to be a little different. It's we already know what our total pay is. All we're going to do is multiply it times Social Security. And there you have it. So the next one will be the same with Medicare. Will equal federal total pay times Medicare. There you have it. Enter. And we're done with Medicare. Now we're going to be looking at the Georgia income tax. Again, we're going to be doing the same thing we did previously. But since it's and we can use it by starting right with the pay. So equals, equal, pay times VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, lookup, and it'll be B8, which is your state, federal, state marital status. And it'll be the new columns that we're using there. It'll be L12 to W14, 14. Again, B9 plus 2, Since its column is L, plus 2 would bring it right into the column that we want. Then false is the exact match, and that should complete our Georgia income tax. Now, all we have to do is your total deductions, and that's pretty easy. It will equal sum of those amount there. Enter, and we're done with that. Your total withholding rate, that's all you're doing is you're dividing your deductions equals your deductions divided by your total pay, and that'll give you your total withholding. So enter, you're at 18.97, so almost 19%. Your take-home pay is equal your total pay minus your total deductions. And there you have it. You're all done with that. The only one question they're giving us is they're saying if Carol wants to have $1,000, how much will she have to pay? What would her hourly rate be? So let's do that real quick. I've got the data up. What if analysis, goal seek. We're looking at goal seek B24, which would be our take home pay. We're changing the value to 1,000, and we're changing the value would be our hourly rate, which would be B6. And then you say, okay. And she would have to be making 17.7 hours in order to get $1,000 at home, net. That's what she's saying, how much it would be for net. They can make the 1,000. And that's all it is. So hopefully this was able to help you with the functions and all the formulas. So till next time, be safe and take care.